Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Shooting the with Yankee. As always, I'm Yankee, so let's start shooting. Tonight's topic is, has Trump been positive, neutral, or negative on gun rights since he's been president? This is a chance for the people who think Trump has been good on guns to tell us why. So let us know. Do you think he's been positive, neutral, negative? And if you can, let us know why you feel that. Even if you just want to say positive, negative, or neutral, at least at the end of the night, we'll be able to count them up to see which one wins. But I want to know what your opinions are. Like I said, if you're very pro-Trump on guns, this is your chance to support him. If you're anti-Trump on guns, this is just another opportunity to call him out and hope he starts doing the right thing. Because that's the only way Trump will change what he's doing, is if he thinks he's losing support, he'll change what he's doing. He's not committed to any ideology or act. It's whatever will make him the most popular. So if he starts to see his base dwindling because of, and they say, well, it's because of what he's doing on guns or what he's not doing on guns, he'll be starting doing some stuff about guns. I wish more people accepted that, but they follow the teachings of the big money people who want them to just, maintain division, not do anything positive or negative, just, keep status quo. But I'll start us off as usual, which I already kind of have. Trump's been negative on guns. He hasn't done a positive thing for guns, and he's done negative things. He banned bump stocks. He actually floated the idea to his cabinet of taking away people's guns first, giving them due process later. Just take their guns. And if they ain't done nothing wrong, they can go to court and get them back. That was his opinion on it. Right now, they're fighting to maintain restrictions on guns and marijuana use. They're wanting to codify the government's ability to deny you gun rights because you smoke marijuana. While the courts are trying to reverse it, they're asking the Supreme Court to step in and keep it. And if you defend those things, as far as I'm concerned, you're not pro-gun. You're not pro-2A. You're pro-Trump, but you're not pro-2A. You're not pro-freedom. So I don't want to hear it from you if you think you're pro-2A, if you're actually supporting Trump. But I want to know what you think. Maybe some of you don't know he's done negative things. Maybe you think everything he's done is positive. Let me know. Let's get over here to the chat. We'll start reading here. Johnny Mandrick said he issued an executive order to review the Biden rules. How dare we be so ungrateful? Yeah, that really accomplished nothing because the Biden stuff didn't really change anything. Oh, we're going to have more heavily scrutinized people, 18 to 21 buying right. That's basically the biggest thing in it. Well, and the tax against FFLs. Like, oh, look, when you went to cross your T and dot your I here, you missed. Your dot's over the wrong letter and your T cross barely touches the T. So you fucked up this paperwork. We're taking your license. That kind of shit was bad. A nominal snowman. Not Trump per se, but the NFA tax going to zero is going to get us NFA stuff being price prohibitive once Dems get in office. I'd say mostly bad. Yes, I would agree. That's true because they've now established that the NFA gets to stay and that you can arbitrarily change the price, though, through bills like reconciliation bills. So that means first time the Dems are passing a budget, they've already said, we want to raise it from zero. They changed it from 200 to zero. We want to change it to zero to $4,700, like it should be if it kept up with inflation. Sean Bain, he never was and never will be a friend of the 2A community. I sadly agree with you. He never has been. And people think, well, he's pro-gun. His kids hunt. His kids are big game, small-dicked, big game hunters. Fuck his two worthless children. I don't really have any real strong feelings about Trump either way, other than thinking he's probably pretty funny guy. But his kids are just worthless, never worked pieces of shit. Paul Rawlerson, Trump, 2A, negative. Effing Putin wannabe liar. Well, tell us how you feel, Paul. Heavy J used his membership chat, his WAP chat, to say no way any politician in favor of 2A rights because they don't want the masses being free to begin with. I think a lot of people go into politics being pro 2A. Like this guy. Hey, this guy's always been a big pro 2A advocate, and he's a gun lover and all this stuff. And he goes into politics with the ideas of I'm going to be pro 2A. And then I think he quickly finds out that if you want the money to keep flowing, you're going to do what we tell you to do. And we will allow you to still appear 2A. When there is a bill that doesn't, a pro 2A bill that doesn't have a chance of winning, we will let you be the guy who stands out front and goes, it should win, even though we know it's not going to. You know, they do shit like that. But even once they get in office, and they get a taste of the sweet life, and their leadership comes to them and goes, you see that sweet life you're making right now, the millions you're making in the stock market, all the perks you're getting, all this other stuff, you want that to keep coming? Well, then you'll do as you're told. That's why no one ever makes a difference once they get there. Practical Bacon, Trump has been a negative. So it's not the politicians, like I'm saying, that are as strongly anti-2A as it is the 1% that they serve. You know, the ultra wealthy know that if there's an armed populace, they can't remain ultra wealthy for long, because once people get hungry, they're going to know exactly whose door to beat down. So they have to have them unarmed, and the politicians have to do what they want, no matter what they feel themselves. Practical Bacon says Trump has been a negative when it comes to policy, a positive when it comes to bringing more into the gun community, with all his haters being afraid. Well, that's true. He has motivated, I think, more people on the left to buy guns. Unfortunately, it's for the wrong reasons, and it's to defend themselves against us. They think we're the threat, the people that already supported guns. I know people here that bought guns, and one of their main concerns is the MAGA people. They're like, these MAGA people are going to try to force their opinions on everybody. You got to be able to defend yourself. And I'm like, you know, I support your decision to arm yourself because of that. Whether I agree with your position or not, still, I support your choice of action. Mr. Furley, not as much as he could, not near what he was promised. He's not doing anything that I can see pro-gun. But, I mean, some people have selective vision. So maybe they could come in and tell me, but I don't see anything really. He ain't done a lot of damage, but no 38 super ban. He has done a lot of damage. He banned bump stocks. That whole idea that you could take guns without due process. Hell, they've seized so many rifles and shotguns from people in D.C. since they took over. And they're acting like, oh, we're such great 2A people because we're not going to charge them with federal crimes. Mainly because they didn't commit any federal crimes. But our decision to not try to make up charges for them shows we're so pro 2A. and since the laws changed that used to allow them to do that. MLS says, I have not been following Trump's 2A position. Well, why not? That's the one thing I wanted to ask about that. Why haven't you been? Aren't you concerned about 2A? Isn't that one of our big things here? Did you pay attention when Biden was in office? Because if your idea was, oh, I paid attention when there's a Democrat because they might go after our 2A rights, but I don't pay attention when there's a Republican. Well, that's not smart, because Republicans have taken as many of our rights as Democrats have historically. Reagan was incredibly anti-gun. The whole Brady thing happened under Reagan. So, and he supported it. So, yeah, you should be paying attention. And some people just don't pay attention because they don't want to have to accept that he's not doing what he said. You know, it's like, this is my idol, and anything my idol ever did that would sully my opinion of him, I'm just going to turn a blind eye to. Well, that's not a good idea. People did that with Michael Jackson. That ended up with a bunch of raped children. People did that with P. Diddy. That ended up with a lot of raped children, even younger people, but Justin Bieber, etc. So just because you idolize someone doesn't mean you don't hold them accountable. And plus, don't idolize people. Why the fuck would anyone idolize a normal person? Jumpy Killer Ox said, Trump is only acting out because he is deflecting from the Epstein list, because most of his donors are on the list as well. Yeah, well, Democrat and Republican donors, they're all on the list. The 1%, most of the big names in the billionaire world are on that list. I don't think Elon Musk is on it because he wasn't cool enough. I don't think Jeffrey Epstein would have ever invited Elon Musk to anything. But I bet you Bill Gates is on that list. I bet you Wahlberg's, or whatever his name is on that list. I bet you the CEOs of the biggest companies in the country are on that list. I bet you the mega pastors and stuff are on that list. And yes, they're distracting from it. Krashnikov said he is effing it up since he chose Bondi negative. Yeah, but that wasn't a mistake. They chose Bondi so she could do all the anti-gun stuff, so she could be the face of the, oh, it was her. We didn't know what she was doing. How would we know what she was doing? Other than the fact that I'm briefed on it every day, and my advisors are briefed on it every day. But otherwise, how would I know? They wanted what she's doing done, and they wanted someone that the people would be able to say it's her because of her past actions. We got one more person weighing in here, and I don't know who this is, but we got one more person weighing in, and they said, can't be trusted to follow the Constitution, can't be trusted to respect 2A. No, that's true. If you don't follow the Constitution everywhere, how do we think you're going to follow it anywhere? And I am a constitutionalist. I believe in the Constitution as was written and how the intent of the founders were, which is why I don't agree with things like corporations or people. The founders clearly said corporations should have no role in government. And being one of the people gives you a role in government because the government is for the people. So I don't agree with that shit, all that conservative garbage, because I'm a constitutionalist. But and as 2A goes, I'm an absolutist. I think everybody knows that. And sometimes it's hard to be an absolutist. It's very hard, but it's the way it is. If you don't like it, change it. That's what the Constitution is. That's why it's made the way it is. So if it's wrong, it can be amended. If times change so much that something's out of date and no longer important or no longer proper, you change it. That's why we've had amendments. But until you do that, shut up and follow the Constitution. If the anti-gunners think tomorrow they can change the Constitution, more power to them. Try it. That's why I think the pro-gun people need to start working better on our PR, because it won't be long before they will be able to try it. But as I was saying, thanks everybody for coming. That was it for us today. How about you out in YouTube land? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. If you want to weigh in on purpose in person on one of these things, come on in to the live chats. We do them every day at 6 p.m. So hope to see you there. As far as everybody else goes, thanks for participating. I don't know what the end thing was here. Let me switch back over to regular chat here. Let me see if Welper has weighed in. 12 against. That number might be screwed. So there's 12 people entering. I don't think anybody said he was good on gun rights. Not a person. And yet all these people in my comment sections are like, he's great. He's doing everything good. And everything he does, he has a reason for and a purpose. He works in mysterious ways. Yeah. All right. At least people in my chat seem to be a little smarter. Got their eyes open a little bit more. But thanks everybody for coming. I appreciate it. I will see you all again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.